That's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Welcome to Speedrun Ragnarok. Let me give a great big welcome to everyone who came in with the GDQ raid. Hi, welcome. Speedrun Ragnarok, we are a charity marathon being put on by the RPG Valkyries. I am Scalakitty, one of the Valkyries. We are here raising money for Take This, which is a mental health nonprofit charity. They very graciously donate their time and their talent to reaching out to the gaming community and letting people know that it's okay not to be okay. And there are ways to get help, and they bring their wonderful message around to different gaming events all around the country. You've probably seen them if you've gone to PAX or if you've gone to MagFest, which till now has been right next to AGGQ. And we're about to play some Neutopia with Von.
Yes, we are.
Mr. World Record himself.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you. So before we get started here, I do want to mention something that when I submitted this game to run the any percent category. However, there was a donation goal that was hit earlier today, where instead of running any percent, I'm going to run what's called any percent no fire wand, which I'll explain a little bit as the run goes on why that is very significant, but just know that before I get started, I wanted to thank all of you for your generosity in making donations to get this to be a much more difficult run than I normally would do. So, thank you, and I'm low-key a little upset with you at the same time. It's weird, but we're just gonna roll with it. So,
Bonnie, to be fair, you did this to yourself. You offered this donation incentive, and you should know that if there is a way for us to very gently bully our dear friends, especially for charity, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I that doesn't surprise me at all. So, alrighty. Well, Scala, are you ready? Because I'm ready.
Oh, I'm always ready for Neutopia.
Beautiful. Alrighty, we're gonna get going in 3, 2, 1 now. Alrighty, so here's your lore. The evil wizard Dirth beams himself down into the peaceful land of Neutopia, and he whisks away with Princess Aurora to his dungeon in the North Pole. In comes our hero, Jazeta. Everyone say hello to Jazeta. He is going to be our protagonist throughout this story. And we're getting a little more lore here from the Elder Mother, who tells us that in order to break the seal, in order to get to Dirth's lair, we need to collect the 8 medallions of wisdom from Wise Men Past. Affix them here in the temple, that blue door behind her will open, and then the final confrontation can begin. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to pick up an item here that is strictly for marathon safety. What we're getting here is called the Book of Revival. This will allow us to obtain passwords, which essentially will serve as checkpoints should we happen to die. It is only required to get that in 100%. If I were doing a world record attempt, I would skip that. But, yeah.
But we want to be safe. Also, for those of you who can speak Japanese, you're probably being like, wait, no, the names that I saw for the princess is Princess Fran, and this is Frey, our hero, and they're going to fight the evil wizard Raphael. We're running in Japanese, because Japanese is just a faster run because of the way the text boxes work. But we use all the English names when referring to everyone, because the English names are so much better.
I mean, while I agree, I think the dashing evil Raphael is kind of cool.
Okay, I can kind of agree on that. I like Dirth though, but Jazeta is such a that name has power.
Jazeta.
I love it. Jazeta. By the way, as you're doing this walk to our first crypt, can I very quickly read out a donation?
Not quite yet, because I do want to mention something right here. So this category is no fire wand. This screen that I'm on right now is the screen where I would normally obtain it, but I am officially skipping it. I will never come back to it. I am going to do this without it officially. I'll elaborate a little more on that, but go ahead with your donation.
Bye-bye, Fire Wand. I have a $10 donation from Natara, who says, sending all my love to the besto friendo around, the amazing Vonnie Vaughn, who I hear also inspired by Neutopia. And really, who needs that Fire Wand anyway? You definitely don't need the Fire Wand. Do you want to talk a little bit about how you developed this category?
Yeah, so, as was alluded to before, I do have the world record in both the any percent and 100% categories of this game. And so, one of my good friends, we call her Kat, but on Twitch she goes by Glitchwitch. She was trying to pester me into doing low percent for this game, which would be absolute madness and, I mean, just virtually impossible. Ah, there she is. Hello, Kat. So I said, I'm not doing that, but let's see if I can meet you halfway. So this would actually be a good opportunity. Oh, nice. Bomb drop early. This would actually be a really good opportunity to discuss the Fire Wand. So the main use for the Fire Wand in the speedrun is as an assault weapon, and it's good for a couple reasons. First of all, it's a projectile, so it helps us to keep distance between ourselves and these enemies, which is really nice for survival. But as we go further along in the game and we collect more capacity to have higher amounts of life, it makes the fire rod even stronger. And we use this to basically cheese some sections of the game as well as bosses. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to have to do all of this by sword. So where I have to get really up close and personal with enemies, which is definitely going to be a lot more risky, and it's also going to take a lot longer on certain sections, bosses and normal fights included. So this is going to be nerve-wracking. I will not lie. But it definitely adds another. Oh, there was a ring buried in there. I like that. All right, so it's definitely going to add another just layer of trickiness to a game that's already difficult enough. And so that was kind of why I liked doing the this category, was because it's something that gave me an additional challenge. And I appreciate that about this game, and I want to squeeze as much kind of value and content out of this as I can, because it's such a fantastic game. It really
is this little hidden gem.
It is. And speaking of it being a hidden gem, you might notice there in the bar at the bottom of the stream that this is a TurboGrafx 16 game, and anytime this system can get any kind of love or appreciation, oh nice, then I am all for it. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about some of the drops that you can get from enemies. You might have seen me just pick up a cherry from that wolfman that I just killed. That refills one segment of life. Early when I was fighting those earwigs, I got a ring, a magic ring. Those are going to be extremely important a little later on in the game, but the fact that we already have one is nice and reassuring, because we will want this to we just anything that can calm my nerves here is good. So these enemies are particularly troublesome without the Fire Wand, just because their jumps can be very erratic. Fighting them from above is a really bad idea. So you got to be really, really slick with how you fight some of these guys. I will take that. And we will get our first sword upgrade here. This is going to double its strength. This is going to be very useful for about the entire first half of this run. So we definitely don't skip it. Well, you know what, High Spirits? You might not see it in the game, but you see it on the box art. And if you are familiar with it, which I'm sure you are, if you've clicked any of the links I've sent you, then you know that this is indeed RPG certified.
It says it on the box. You have to believe the box.
Ooh, hourglass. Okay, so that's another drop. The hourglass. It freezes time. Enemies cannot move, but they can still damage you, as you saw there. I thought I could slip underneath that earwig, but I was wrong. So you can't just be super reckless about it. Ooh, nice. Another bomb drop. All right, we're in good shape. Alrighty, so The final room of the crypt before the boss is always going to be brown as opposed to the gray that the other ones are, so we know we're getting close. You have to kill all the enemies in the room in order to get in there. All right, this is our first boss we fight, the Golem, and we are not going to two-cycle it because I'm a doofus, but that's fine. We want to play this safe anyway. Okay. Okay, there we go. Good. Alrighty. This first crypt is particularly scary because you have no armor upgrades yet, and you have a pretty low amount of life, so dying in there is not unheard of, even for me, so I'm glad to be done with that. So let's talk a little bit about how the game is actually laid out. So we're going to do 4 different overworlds, which are called spheres in this game, and they will be done in a linear order. Right now we are in the land sphere. Next we will do the subterranean sphere. After that is going to be the sea sphere, which you will know it's the sea sphere because it has the best music of the 4. And then the 4th and last one will be the sky sphere.
Which
now,
has the actual best music in the game. Excuse me.
In each sphere, there are 2 dungeons, which are referred to as crypts. Now, they are meant to be done in a particular order, the crypts, that is. One is always going to be more difficult than the other. We are always going to do the more difficult one first. The reason for that is because the items either on the way to or in those crypts are particularly helpful or useful, and so we want to get our hands on those as early as possible. So that's why we do that. We intentionally ramp up the difficulty. All right, so these next 2 rooms here, if you are familiar with speedruns of The Legend of Zelda by Lack Attack, he has a couple rooms, or a room in Dungeon 6, which he refers to as the Belfry because of all the bats that you fight in there. Well, this is Neutopia's version of this, and this is going to be an absolute thing of beauty because I got the hourglass in the troublesome room where the bats can move very randomly and erratically. However, freezing them in place solves a whole mess of a lot of problems.
Always lovely when that happens.
Indeed.
Also, shout out to Last Enemy Hourglass, even though he didn't need it anymore.
Well, exactly. I also got First Enemy Hourglass, so it's forgivable.
It's forgivable. Very quickly, as you make your way through the script, can I read out one very small donation?
Go ahead.
A much beloved donation from a lore master Motos who just won our Loom race. He donates $10 and says, Link's Awakening is already challenging in the reverse boss order category, so why not make it harder? 3 hearts only sounds just fine, and that's going for a run tomorrow of Link's Awakening to upgrade it to be a 3-heart challenge after, yes, it is already a reverse boss order challenge.
Oh,
if y'all haven't seen this run, it's absolutely amazing, and I hope y'all will be able to tune in for it tomorrow.
That does sound dope. Yes, please get your money in for some great donation goals. All right, let's see how this room goes. Oh, beautiful. They all lined up perfectly there. That room is made much safer by having the fire wand, but luckily the enemies played nice, and we're going to cruise through that. All right, so here we have Derpy Dragon Lord. There we go. That is a boss. The first 2 bosses, actually, are ones that you would fight with your sword anyway. So as far as in this category, there really is no difference there. However, there are going to be some stark differences in the route coming up very soon, which I will be sure to point out. All right, so now we're in the subterranean sphere. You know it is subterranean because there is lava.
And stalactites and all that kind of stuff.
Indeed.
And you know...
There's also these jerks that throw rocks at you. Very rude. I'm lucky he didn't just walk left into me there. Okay. What are you guys gonna do? Okay, let's... Oh, avoid that rock. Alright. Normally I would go left on this screen, especially if I'm doing 100%, and get an item called the Moonbeam Moss, which lights your way in dark dungeons. dark dungeon rooms. Well, I'm not going to have that. I'm going to have to do all of them in the dark. Also, this screen I'm just leaving here is a very convenient place to get another potion. However, I'm going to have to find another place to do that. So right there, you've got an actual route change from either any percent or 100%, because you don't have the fire wand that you need in order to burn down those rocks and get to those rooms. So you are forced to go without them.
Also, chat, please appreciate the sentence, burn down those rocks.
All right, everyone go left. Thank you. Appreciate that. Alrighty. However, the lack of fire wand and moonbeam moss is not going to prevent us from obtaining this next item, which is nice because it is a necessary item in order to beat the game. Scala, what am I going to be picking up right here?
You're going to be picking up the rainbow drop! It's my favorite item.
The rainbow drop. Shout outs to the rainbow. So what the rainbow drop does is it allows us to negotiate over one tile wide gaps, which is going to be necessary to enter this next crypt. Oh goodness! Wow, whoa, God, that was close. It's going to allow us to enter this next crypt. I'm going to go ahead and make a safety save here, just for the heck of it.
Also, chat making me so happy with all these rainbow emotes.
This next crypt is not fun without the fire wand. So with it, it's really not all that challenging. Without it, it can go sideways pretty quickly. So that lady that I just talked to before I came in, that was me obtaining a password, which the game stores, and essentially I can just, I can just go back to that section if I die. So that's what we do there. All right. So you see these rooms in the dark here? I'm going to have to do them in the dark in order to get through them. Now, rooms like this where there is a block pattern in here. I don't have to push anything. These are fine. The ones we have to push multiple blocks in a certain order in the dark, those are kind of a pain. So I'm definitely going to need to concentrate on those. Ooh, I'm actually going to get those wings. Those wings are going to come in very handy a little later in the run. Oh, come on. So here I'm picking up a potion because this is really the first place that I can get one besides where I would normally get it in any other category of a run. So we want to get that as soon as possible, especially for safety. I'll take those bombs, even though I don't need them. That's right. I don't need them for this category. There's the rainbow drop in effect right there. You saw me kind of walking across on a rainbowy bridge of goodness. Oh, jeez.
That rainbow bridge is so good. It
is so awesome, is it not?
It's actually showing off like the power of the TurboGrafx 16. It just makes me really happy. And remember, y'all, this game came out like 2 years before Link to the Past. Right.
Oh my God. All right, now I'm starting to get a little concerned. So actually, the fighting in this room is not much different from any other category because those white ghost enemies cannot be hurt by the fire wand. So I have to fight. Oh, nice! I have to fight them with my sword. However, when they disappear, they are invulnerable, which is rather annoying. Oh, good. Thank you for coming down there. Okay. Oh, so I didn't mention this in the other crypt. So what I've obtained there is the key. You need the key in order to open the door to the boss. Each crypt has a key that is unique to it, so we have to get it before we finish it. Okay.
At least you don't have to worry about Key Sandy in this game.
No, you do not. Oh my God. These bugs are awful. These little beetles, they move very erratically, even though they move slowly, and it just makes it very difficult to predict. Are you going to be a jerk? The answer is no. Hey, Thank you for disappearing and letting me just walk right through you. That's a nice thing, is at least if I can't hit him, he can't hit me either while in that invisible state. So that, I suppose, is a fair trade-off. Alrighty. So, as I'm sure you know, Scala, I'm going to need some serious time for this boss.
Oh, absolutely. I know. This is a boss that requires absolute and complete
Absolute serious time. No talking. No talking. I need to concentrate, Scala. Please, let me concentrate. Okay, we're done. So that was Stunlock Earwig. The way that boss works is that its tail segment is the only one that takes damage, but all of its segments can be hit stun with the sword. So we basically just walk straight up, pile all of its segments against the wall, and just keep bouncing it off the wall until it dies. And that's it. Alrighty, so what we're going to do here is we're going to pick up a bomb capacity upgrade. Now, the reason why we pick this up is because the other one that we would normally pick up in the beginning of the Sea Sphere cannot be accessed unless you have the Fire Wand. So we do this one. It's a bit longer because you have to actually kill enemies to get to it. But we don't have a choice, so this is the one we end up getting.
By the way, now we do talk about how Neutopia has influenced many other games.
Mm-hmm.
I do also like, though, that with the influence of Zelda on Neutopia, that everyone in Neutopia just kind of lives in, like, really nice, like, Finnish basement caves.
They don't play in Neutopia, Scott.
They don't. I mean, I just have questions about, like, their real estate choices.
Yeah, the pelt and the pictures on the wall and like tables with flowers in them and stuff, and yeah.
But it's in a cave. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're all preppers. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I just have questions. That's all.
Yes. The citizens of Neutopia are gentrifying the caves. Anyway. So, you might have noticed that when I talk to these prisoners that are chained up in the cave, I'm just skipping what they're saying. However, if they have actually something to give to me, you have to listen to them. So I have to listen to that guy because I do want to get this shield. This is the only shield upgrade we're going to get in this category. It is useful in a couple places, so it's worth about 4 seconds to get it. After he's done yammering, I could just go ahead and skip it, but I think the net time save to get it is a good one. So we do that. Alrighty. Ooh, creamsicle ghosts. Alright, so if we were able to light this room up, you would notice that there is just a hole in the middle of the floor where these creamsicle ghosts just continue to pour out and do not stop, which is terrifying and also creates a lot of lag. So we want to get through there as quickly as possible.
It is so amazing how many sprites they managed to have on screen at one time in this game.
Yep. So you see all kinds of stuff being done in the dark. You just got to know where to go. I like using the rainbow drop in dark rooms because it really just pops. You can really just see all of its glory, all of its rainbow glory.
Oh, so to answer a very quick question in chat, the wings that Vani's picking up will allow him to teleport back to the central temple. The rings we're going to use to make a few rooms a little easier by changing what enemies are inside the rooms.
Okay, so I goofed. I picked up an hourglass while one of the ghosts was in its disappearing state. And like I said before, you can't damage ghosts while they're disappeared, so you have to wait for the hourglass to wear off before you can kill them. All right, these are the dagger twins. We do some step manipulation to get their pattern to always be the same. So I can bounce this guy against the wall, turn around, get him against it, block these daggers, and then just kind of wail on him until he dies soon. There we go. Okay, that was actually a good dagger twins fight.
Now, were the Bat Twins in Illusion of Gaia inspired by the Dagger Twins of Neutopia?
I think you already know the answer to that question, Scala.
I'm answering it rhetorically for chat.
The answer is yes.
Yes, of course it was. Shout out to anyone who played Illusion of Gaia.
Alrighty, so here we are in the Sea Sphere. Enjoy the banger in the background. I'm also skipping, in that screen I just left there, I'm skipping a life upgrade. You need the Fire Wand to get it, so we're doing this with a little less life, which is a little more scary. Also, that screen that was to the right there, that's where you would get the bomb upgrade that I would normally get, but we've already covered that, so. However, there is an upgrade coming up here, which you do not need the Fire Wand to get, and we are absolutely going to be getting anyway. After I kill these guys, if I could just do it without being a moron. Oh, there we go. Okay. And we can block that now, which is nice. Reappear, please. And let me kill you. No, my goodness. You are not playing nice. There we go. Okay. That's a lot easier to do with the Fire Wand. So, anyway. Alright, so in here we talk to this gentleman. He's actually talking about fashion, believe it or not.
I mean, yeah, look how nicely he's dressed. Of course he's talking about fashion.
So, speaking of fashion, he gives us the Falcon shoes, or as I like to call them, the Scooty boots. They double your walking speed, which for speedrun is very useful.
By the way, since I see Natara in chat, Natara, the gentleman we just got the Scooty boots from, is that Dad from Final Fantasy Legend 2. For like how Neutopia has inspired many other games, the Dad from Final Fantasy Legend 2 has also, of course, appeared in any other games. Catch that race tomorrow between me and Natara for much discussion of the unified dad theory.
The unified dad theory. Nice. Alright. What are you guys doing? You guys are not... There we go. Okay. Not worth it to try to kill those guys. But we'd like to avoid taking damage there if we can. Alright. This is Crypt 6, and now is when the difficulty curve in this game just completely spikes. Mostly because of these guys, these wizards here. They make life hellish. Alright. Ooh, I'm just gonna go ahead and get a little happy birthday action there. That will help when I'm coming back into that room. Also, these wisp ghosts, much easier to negotiate with the Fire Wand. Doing this with the sword is not fun.
I love the kitty ghosts, though. They're so
kitty
cute.
Ghosts.
They got the little kitty whiskers and the kitty.
They do have kitty whiskers. Okay, good. Kitties are down.
And the little Tonberry ghosts.
Shout outs to Last Enemy Hourglass there. How useful that would have been much earlier in the room. Son of a... Alright. So interestingly enough, these zombadillos can only be damaged with the sword as well, so not having the Fire Wand is inconsequential when it comes to fighting them. Alright. So here we go. We're gonna go back up through this room. This guy's all chained up. Yeah, that's nice. Alright, we're gonna bomb our way in here. Now we're gonna use this ring. What this ring is going to do, you're going to see all of these wizards turn into slugs instead. Now, hopefully one of these slugs is a special type of slug, which we refer to as a slug homie. We want a slug homie to drop a ring for us. And he does. Thank you,
Woo!
slug homie. Ah. Oh, sigh of relief. So we are going to need another ring later on in this crypt for a room that's even more terrifying than the one I just used the ring in. So the fact that I already have it is just wonderful.
Chad, I think, is requesting the Slug Homie song.
Oh.
I dreamed a dream of Slug Homie.
Yes, that was an impromptu song that I devised on the fly during a stream the other day, which the aforementioned cat was gracious enough to clip and put in several Discord channels.
As you should.
Yes. That was a very, very clutch hourglass. stop me if you've heard this before, but these enemies are much easier to fight with the fire wand. So the fact that they are now stationary makes me a happy Vani.
Donate $1 for every time Bonnie says this would be easier with the fire wand.
Yeah, please. Please do. I really do not like these enemies. Even though they only move diagonally, their movement is very erratic. It's also, your guess is as good as mine as to when they will actually take bounce back from my sword. So, yeah, that makes negotiating them a lot of fun as well.
If only someone could make a sequel to this game where we actually had diagonal movement. How blessed would we be? Oh, the slug homies are in full force today. Slug homies.
Yes, slug homies are just what the doctor ordered right now.
I would absolutely play Neutopia 3 where you just could be a slug homie.
Yeah. Alright, so I think we're gonna do this. We are going to slay the kitty ghosts and take more damage. So the reason why you needed the ring in that second room to go in there and do that was because I've picked up the strongest armor. This is crucial for the latter part of the run. So I'm gonna take a bit of a detour here. I'm gonna pick up another potion. I already have 2, but I'm gonna go ahead and just pop one before I pick it up, so that I have full life.
Also, chat asking, is there actually a sequel to Neutopia? Yes, there is indeed Neutopia 2, where
yes, there is.
Where you play as Jazeta's son, or as we have nicknamed him, Jazzy Jr.
Jazz Jr.
Because you get to name him. And it's a thing.
It is, and it's also a thing that's going to be run during Questing for Glory 3 next month on RPG Limit Break. So be sure to check that out.
Also, we have a $5 anonymous donation that simply says, rumor has it that reading this donation would be easier with the fire wand. Thank you, Anonymous.
That is so true. All right, say hello to Poverty Trinex. This is going to be by far the most erratic boss fight in the game. Also the length. Well, no, actually in this category it will not be the lengthiest. There is somewhat of a pattern to getting the heads to go where you want them to. It's kind of tricky to get, but what we really want is this right here, where we're just bouncing the head off the wall and not allowing it to return to the body. Because after a while, the head will fly around and then try to return to the body. But if you are in between head and body and continuing to hit stun it, then you basically can just control the pace of the fight. But I haven't quite done that, so but whatever. There we go. We're done anyway. All right. So you thought you were done, right? Nope. Slug homies, fire-breathing cannons. Gotta use the rainbow bridge. Yeah, you can actually die in that room after beating the boss.
Because, you know, games from the late 80s, early 90s.
Because this game wasn't already challenging enough.
Also, the anonymous donation actually did come from our dear Leggy Starscream. So
thank you, Leggy. Shoutouts to Leggy. So, alrighty. So, where we would normally be at right now, where we would normally be at right now with the Fire Wand is with having the Fire Wand as well as 12 segments of life. I only have 11 because I had to skip one of them, which would give us the most powerful form of the Fire Wand, which we like to refer to as the Good Fire. Which makes some bosses comically easy. It makes getting through rooms a complete breeze, but we don't have that. So, so we're not going to be too worried about life preservation in that regard. We just want life preservation for survival at this point, and this wizard doesn't work. And that just kind of reinforced it.
Yeah, everything else is just pure YOLO swag.
Yes. So this here is... So the reason the Fire Wand is skipped is because that's this category. It is no Fire Wand, as you can see there in the title. And the reason we're doing that is because a donation incentive was met to have me skip it and make this game more challenging.
Because we like to watch Vonnie suffer. I mean, that's the reason.
Is really messed up. I mean, whatever.
I mean, tomorrow. Here's the thing. I at least I take as good as I get.
Okay.
Y'all can watch me suffer tomorrow, okay?
See, what had happened was.
Hashtag Team Evil. Aw, yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag. Yeah. Alrighty. So what I just did there, where I talked to that old guy, is what I refer to as a micro crypt. You have to go in and talk to that guy before you can even get into this crypt. It's the only crypt that has that kind of prerequisite. I don't know why. I don't even know what the dude is saying because I don't read Japanese. So it's just a fact of Neutopia life. Okay.
I mean, they have to tell you all about their really intense cave decorating ideas. They've been reading apartment therapy, Vonnie.
Jazeta, appreciate the feng shui. Oops, that's right, it's the last one. Alrighty, so we skip what you have to say. We do not care. Alrighty, so this here is going to be the only real deviation from the any percent route as far as item obtaining. We're about to get a sword upgrade here. Which is going to be pretty useful for the next couple of crypts. Also, fighting 8 enemies in this room, all with different movement patterns and whatnot, is super fun.
Would it be easier with the fire rod?
You know it. You know it, Scala. Everyone put $1 in the jar. See, here's the thing about this room. It'd be a lot easier if I had the fire wand.
Chat, what type of non-utopian things would be easier if you had a fire wand?
Oh my goodness.
Please donate to tell us.
Your job? Negotiating traffic? Oh my god, the possibilities are endless.
No, see? I was just thinking toasting marshmallows.
Oh no, I was thinking about burning my enemies. Which is what you use the fire wand for! It's what it's for!
Why can't it be used for nice things? Like going camping!
If you go into somebody's cave home in Neutopia and they're like, the fire in my fireplace went out. Jazeta, can you help me? Haha! No problem! I've got my trusty fire wand!
Anonymous says, making this donation would have been easier with the fire wand.
Exactly. Oh my goodness, the memes. They're so fantastic. Alright, so this is the crab boss. Scala, you know what I'm gonna say.
This would be so much easier with the fire wand.
This is a pushover with the fire wand. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is part of the reason why I get that sword upgrade, is because it makes this fight a lot faster. Whereas normally with the fire wand it would make no difference, but alas.
See, at least with the fire wand, at least you're cooking the giant crab.
Right. There we go. It doesn't make the fight any easier, it just makes it a lot faster. That can be if the crab cooperates and moves right first lateral movement, it can be killed in one cycle. However, without the fire wand, the minimum that it can be killed in with that sword upgrade is 4.
Another anonymous donation saying, reading Norse poetry would be much easier with the fire wand. There's also a $25 donation here that is for your choice, Vonnie.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. I'll have to look at that when I'm done. I should have thought of that before I started. But thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. All right, so now we're in the Sky Sphere. This is going to be the last sphere we'll see in the game. We're going to be seeing plenty of it because this is in this category. I do have to do some backtracking, and I'll explain what that's all about once I get to it.
Oh, I just wanted to update one thing. The $25 donation for you came from Webstar. Sorry about that. My screen was a little squished and stuff ran together. And they also say, thanks for all your hard work on putting together such an incredible event. Thank you so much,
thank you, Webstar, for that donation and your generosity. Oh, get out of the way. Okay, good. Okay. So this is how stairs work. You step on them and they send you hurtling into the sky and then just plop you down on the other side.
Yeah, that's it. I live in a second floor apartment. I can confirm that is how stairs work.
Hashtag Neutopia stairs.
But no one actually lives in a place where there's more than one floor. They live in the caves. Also, chat, you see those grasshoppers? Their legs, they are so freshly shaven. And
I was
smooth.
wondering. Oh, I actually didn't even really need to get this. I was wondering when that was going to be coming in.
Vonnie, can you actually pause for 1 second? We have a tech issue.
Okay. How do I pause my
Oh, cool. We got it.
Oh, we're good? We're good? Okay.
Bill's on it. Yes. Leggy, absolutely. They are absolutely well shaven in your honor.
Just for you, Leggy.
Just for Leggy. We also have, I think...
She's not Army Starscream.
Yes. I mean, I had to admit, we have one of my favorite enemies in the entire game. I love the goat wizards so much.
Oh,
They're
goat
so
wizards.
well designed.
Yes. Goat wizards with their leather robes of trolling. No! Oh my, I can't believe I just did that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I thought I was on bombs, and instead I just,
Oh no, you used up your... Ooh,
I used a potion. Oh, wow, this is gonna be a little more nerve-wracking.
Oh boy! Extra hard mode.
Yeah. Okay, well... It's cool. It's cool. We tell her to be cool, honey bunny. We are everybody breathe. Nobody panic except for me. It's gonna be fine.
You know what would be easier to create with a fire wand? A panic basket.
Yeah.
And there's basically a fire wand already inside of it.
Okay. We're good. We are good.
Chat also informing us that shaving your legs would be easier with the fire wand. And
I've seen those barbers that kind of use a little it's kind of like this little stick of fire to kind of tame certain hairstyles. So it's like a legit little wand of fire. So
I'd have to ask my sister-in-law about that. She's actually a professional hairdresser.
Oh, really?
Yes, it means I never have to pay for a haircut for the rest of so long as she and my brother stay married.
Nice. That is extra annoying because I cannot block his fireballs. Oh, thank you. We skip the item that would allow us to block them. Hello, there we go. Okay. Finding staircases in the dark sometimes is an adventure in and of itself.
Chat pointing out that the fireball bringing bats, they clearly do have a fire rock.
Yes, exactly. They're taunting me like, haha, look what I have. I have the ability to shoot. and you don't, and I'm jealous. Okay. All right, so here we go. So we're going to pick up an extremely broken item. This is the Bell of the Sky. Now that we have it, here's a huge route deviation. Now that we have it, we're going to warp out. Oh my god.
What happened?
I did not calculate for that. Normally, I don't have that safety, and I go to the main temple, which is a shortcut. However, instead, I winged back to my last save point, which is how wings work, and I did not think of that. So, wow, we get to do a lot of extra walking now. All right, so here's the deal. In any other category of this game, you would get the bell, and then you would proceed to do the rest of the dungeon, and then kill the boss. You're never gonna guess why we don't do that.
Why don't we do that in No Fire 1%?
Because the boss of this dungeon is extremely easy to kill with the Fire Wand. However, he is extremely difficult to kill without it. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to head back, do a little bit of backtracking. This actually was easy. Even though the wings didn't take me where I thought that they would, because I just didn't even occur to me, this is still saving time. So not a complete doof on my part, but it was a half doof. A demi-doof, if you will.
On a scale of like 1 to doof, it was like a 0.6 doof.
Yeah, it was like the D and like half of the first O. Okay, so now we're where we want to be. So the first thing we are absolutely going to do is we are going to scoot on over this direction.
But you know what the best thing about, like, even though it's a small mistake, you know what the best thing about it is, Vonnie?
What's that?
People get to hear more of the best song in the game,
Exactly.
which is the Sky Sphere song. Also, on a scale of 1 to Fire Wand, how much do you want the Fire Wand right now?
Oh my god. I have
Is it like good fire level?
I have a burning desire to possess that item. Alright, so here's why we warp out after we get the Bell of the Sky, is we use that Bell of the Sky to make this staircase appear, which sends us to which sends us up here. This allows us to get the strongest sword. This is going to make fighting the boss in Crypt 8 just a lot easier to digest. So that's definitely a good thing.
Natar, you can't ban memes. You have to ban me. You can't ban your fellow moderators. Also, yes, Dave is right. Memes were inspired by Neutopia.
This is very much correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Alright, so now we're heading over to Crypt 7, which we would normally, after finishing Crypt 8, we would get the strongest sword and then finish Crypt 7. So we're kind of doing that as we normally would. The only thing is that after we're done with it, we're going to go over and do the second half of Crypt 8, and then it'll be on to the final boss. So just a bit of a route change there from any other category. Bombs. Need those first, I believe. No, we're not. Shit, we need the bell first. All right. So, all right. Okay, be nice. Be nice. I'd like to keep as much life as possible. Darn. Okay, whatever. So here's what the Bell of the Sky does. Any room that has doors that are sealed either because you need to push a block or kill all of the enemies in it, or sometimes both, you can instead just ring the bell, and the doors will be forced open, which is extremely convenient. Come on down, guys. Come on down. Come on, just get these out of the way. Okay, good. I can fight this bat. All right. So this is going to be one of those rooms I was talking about. Okay, I have to think about this for a second. Yes, good. Good. Nope. Dang it. So there's 3 blocks that I have to push in a very particular order and in very particular directions, too. Negotiating them in the dark is not the easiest. Okay, so we want to go here, and then we want to go here, and... Nope. Oh, man. Yeah, it's very particular with where you're standing to push the blocks. I keep pushing... Okay, hold on.
You got this, Monty.
There we go. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, so there's 3 blocks. Well, actually, so 4 blocks on a row from left to right. You ignore the first one. You have to push the second one down, then the 4th one down, and then the 3rd one to the left. And of course, doing that without being able to see anything is not a lot of fun. So, get out of the way. But we did it.
I have every faith in the world in you, Vonnie.
Oh yeah, that was probably the most difficult thing I needed to do in this dungeon, honestly, or in this crypt. So, the rest of it is pretty elementary. This is another place where I have to push a couple particular blocks. This one, however, is much easier. I only have to push 2, and that one's a little more forgiving. Alrighty, now the bell becomes the star of the show, because we ring our way through here. We ring our way through here. And we ring our way through here. Unfortunately, you cannot use the bell. That door is brown. I know you can't see it because it's dark. But that door is brown because the boss is on the other side of it. You cannot use the bell on those doors. Most unfortunately. But that's okay, because this boss is actually pretty simple. Do not blink. 1, 2, 3. And... Alright, cool. So now that we have this crypt taken care of, now we can go back to Crypt 8. Another nice thing about doing Crypt 7 before we do Crypt 8 is the fact that by finishing Crypt 7, we're given another segment of life, and the more life we have, the longer we survive. Pretty simple principle. So.
We did establish during Crystallis that really only the last hit point counts. Everything else is just resource management.
I suppose that's true. Okay. These things are very annoying, and again, the fact that I only have 1 potion is making me very particular about how I'm moving through these screens, because I need to preserve every hit point that I can get for the boss.
Also, I do love how all the strongest items in this game are just like bright red. It's very like 80s shonen. Oh,
impromptu bullet hell, courtesy of that cloud.
Well, yeah, because it's got the fire wand.
God. Hidden in its fluffy gray cloudness. Oh, thank you, Goat Wizard, for throwing that bolt of blue lightning right in my face.
That's just what Goat Wizard does. They have the blue
Goat
fire
Wizard
rod.
Goat Wizard. Now I kind of wish I didn't pick up those potions before, because I didn't need them the first time around, and I didn't realize it until I was there. But it's too late for that now. Okay. The nice thing is that we are going to lay down another safety save, and in so doing, I can actually kind of essentially do a save and quit, which the purpose of that is that when I come back, I will have full life again. So this 4 damage, the 4 squares of damage that I've already taken, will be wiped out really just in a few seconds. Make make that 5.5. Okay, whatever. There we go. Okay. It's been a while since I've done that. I wanted to make sure I did that correctly.
Y'all good.
Yeah.
To answer a question from chat, some of the earlier bosses, which would not require the fire rod, or at least you're not expected to have the fire rod for them, they're pretty much the same, no matter what.
Yes.
Also, sassy answer from chat, making ice is not easier with the fire rod.
True. There, I can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that. Alrighty. So now we're going to do the second half of Crypt 8. We already did the first half to get this bell. Get out of my way. And now we're basically just going to make our way to the boss. That is our final objective here. Go up, please. That'd be great. Thank you very much. Oh, man. All right. Okay, really hope I don't take a bunch of damage in this room, and we're not off to a good start.
Oh, God.
Get out, get out, get out, get out. Oh, no, no, no.
No, angel snakes, no.
No, angel snakes are not my friend. Okay, that helps. Just get out of my way. Okay. Alright, so here is where we use our final magic ring. Mostly because those enemies otherwise would just take a lot more damage. Oh my god, I need to stop taking damage, speaking of. And... Oh, no! I thought it was going to get bounced onto the stairs. That would have been really bad. Alright, here we go. Oh, yes!
Whew. So that was our little preview of Durf, the final boss of this game. Traveling in the only way that anyone ever should travel, which is in a giant floating golden puma head.
Yes, indeed. So I do not have a potion for the final boss. 99% of the time that's fine, provided I just completely forget my rhythm, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Alright, so now that we have collected all 8 of the medallions, she just needs to say a few more things to us. She's going to refill our life and give us another segment, which is welcome. And then the door behind her will finally open.
To the climactic castle.
The climactic castle, where we will fight Durth face to face.
And not with the giant puma face in between us.
No. Again, without the potion here, I'm going to kind of go serious here for a second.
No problem.
We need to hit him 32 times. We hope to do this in 5 cycles. And here we go.
Enjoy the best music in the game.
That was not a good cycle. Oh, jeez. What was that? Oh, boy. Okay. We should be fine. Okay, good. We did it in 5 cycles. We're good.
Woo.
All right. So final boss down. Time is not yet, because it is possible to double KO on that boss. You can deliver the final hit while also simultaneously dying, which is a game over. So we actually had to retime some runs, added about 30 seconds or so. There's going to be a cutscene where we'll go back to the temple. Everybody will be happy and whatnot, and then it will fade to black. And at that point, it will be time. I will be sure to call that out. And just a few more text boxes here. And time. There we go.
GG!
Alrighty, thank you very much. Alrighty, so that is it. Neutopia completed in less than an hour without the fire wand. Just for comparison, I mean, my difficulties aside, and that doofusry with the wings. World record for this category is 53 minutes and 50 seconds, so a little more than 4 minutes faster. So, but we definitely took some safeties. We took our time, and we got through it without anything burning to the ground, which is remarkable because we didn't have the fire wand. So,
well, it couldn't burn anything anyway.
Right, exactly. So that's cool. So, yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. I do appreciate it. I run this game as well as its sequel on my channel quite often. So if you enjoyed me and or this video game, please give me a follow. I would greatly appreciate that. I like to entertain with TurboGrafx 16 gems such as this. And I would like to, the first of many, certainly won't be the last time, that I want to thank the RPG Valkyries, the opportunity to be a part of this and run sweet games like this for you. And I actually am going to be back on Wednesday evening. I'm doing a double header, the 4-way Zelda 1 randomizer race, and then right after that, I will be doing Star Tropics. So I'm very much looking forward to Wednesday night, because that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, again, thank you so much. I hope y'all enjoyed it and had a lot of fun with it. And Scala, do you have any closing thoughts or words before we head on over to our next run?
Oh, just thank y'all again. You've all gotten a lot of Scala today, so I'm also going to be ducking out after this. Thank y'all so much for all of your absolutely wonderful support. Y'all are amazing and fantastic, but you do get more Leggy Starscream, which is also really exciting. And you do get Andesis, who is going to be playing Clock Tower 3 coming up after this. And then the run after this is going to be Dragon Warrior 2 by current Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament champion, Mr. Holmes. So
yeah, shout outs to Mr. Holmes, dude. GG
absolutely.
to win in that tournament. That was a tough one.
Absolutely shouts to Mr. Holmes. So even though it is starting to get a little late night, we still have plenty of hype runs for y'all. And we also do have more donation incentives, more donation goals. Right now, it is wide open to name pretty much anyone you would like to in Lost Sphere. And we do still have the next donation goal to be met is to get that 3-heart challenge for Link's Awakening. So, please, I hope you all enjoy and stick around. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much. Take care, folks.